Welcome back to special storm mode coverage on 13 News Now at 11. The snow is coming down across the area.
The flakes started falling nearly 8 hours ago in some places like Elizabeth City, where this video is coming from, and the snow is not letting up. We have live team coverage from Elizabeth City to Hampton and everywhere in between. We'll check in with all of our crews in a minute, but we kick things off with our chief meteorologist, Jeff Lawson, who's tracking where the heaviest snow is falling right now. Jeff?
Well, especially in areas to the south. I've shown this a couple of times, but I like to keep showing it because if you've been watching us, you can get an idea of how heavy the snow is from the buildings downtown. At one point, you could see them, but they were a little fuzzy. Now, it is definitely hard to see, and that's because all of this light snow that was white, this like very white color is what we saw the first several hours, and that was just very, very light precipitation. Now, it did start to stick and whiten the ground because it was so cold, but now that things are filling in with the blue color, especially as we get medium blue and darker blue, that means even heavier areas of snowfall. And over just the last, I think this is a, 8 o'clock to 11, this is a 3-hour loop. You can see that there was a lot more in the way of white out there, some pockets here and there, but now a lot more of the heavier precipitation. A little bit lighter here in sort of central areas of Currituck and Camden. There's heavy snow just north of you, southern Virginia Beach back through Moyock. Then a little bit of it where it's a little bit lighter, still coming down at a decent clip, but not as heavy as it is from Poplar Branch down toward, again, the Wright Brothers Memorial Bridge. But zooming in around Moyock over toward Creeds and up toward parts of Back Bay, there's a very heavy band there. Not as much sort of central Virginia Beach, again, is, decent, light to moderate clip. But then you get back here over Norfolk and continue on up onto the peninsula, definitely a little bit heavier, a little heavier out here to the west. The bottom line is it's snowing really substantially, and it's going to continue. Right now it's 27, feels like 13 degrees with that northerly wind, and that's the sustained wind. It's gusting even higher. Right now gusting up to 33 miles per hour at Norfolk International, 33 down in Manio as well, 20 in Chesapeake, 28 in Portsmouth. So we're not talking right near the coast. Anywhere that's even within 20 miles or so is getting, again, a pretty significant wind event right now. Generally light amounts, maybe an inch or something off to the north, a couple of spots tiny bit higher, but most of our area is going to be looking at 2 to 5 until you get into south side in North Carolina, and there won't be a huge difference. We're saying 4, 5 is probably the most common figure, but I think there will be a few spots that see 6 or 7. In fact, we've had a report already, haven't confirmed it yet, but 4 inches in at least one area there of Currituck County. So it's going to get up to 7 at least if that is indeed true. And you can see why, because we still have all of these blue areas to sweep up over us for the next several hours as everything continues to work its way again off to the north and the east. So we'll be back, both Evan and myself, in just a few minutes with a lot more on this storm.
Jeff, thank you. Looking live now at the Virginia Beach ocean front from our Skyview camera on 17th Street. You can see that blanket of snow out there. Evan Watson spent the day in Virginia Beach, joins us live now near Mount Trashmore. Evan, I remember when you could sled at Mount Trashmore. How's it looking now?
Yeah, unfortunately, sledding is off limits at Mount Trashmore. Park is closed tonight, but nearby down the street over by Salem Road, I did catch a couple sledders earlier. Conditions at the moment, it is just consistent, a consistent light snowfall. It's to the point where the footsteps that we made coming out here for a live shot earlier tonight starting to get covered up. So you see it just consistently around here, not only here in the ocean front, up Beer Shore Drive area, across Virginia Beach where we've been tonight. The other thing you need to absolutely remember is those road conditions. They are slick, they are difficult to drive on. They're not something that I would recommend if you need to go out. Please be very cautious and drive slow. We did see one car kind of skid out and crash into a curb earlier tonight, but a lot of people very excited for what it will look like in the morning once all this snow has accumulated, what fun that might bring when it comes to sledding, snowball fights, snow angels, whatever you name it. It's been fun talking to people around Virginia Beach all today.
All right, Evan, sure is pretty coming down there. Thank you. Virginia Beach leaders tell us if you have any non-emergency safety concerns during the storm, you can call 311 to report them to the city.
First snowflakes fell in northeastern North Carolina this afternoon, and they haven't stopped. Eugene Daniel is live for us once again in Elizabeth City. And what's it like out there? Still coming down pretty heavy, Eugene?
Well, it's still coming down pretty heavy. I'm not sure if this truck behind me is trying to give me a show or not, but it literally just did a full 360 turn here as it's trying to get its bearing. Yeah, the snow is sticking to the ground. You can see the streets are white at this point. Now, I know North Carolina Department of Transportation and the city of Elizabeth City crews treated the roads. And it's going to be a long night for some of those NCDOT crews. They're planning to work up to 17 hours today as they don't expect the snow to stop until the morning. I also spoke with the emergency management coordinator for the area. They had planned to set up an emergency operations center to assist with 911 calls. However, he says they don't think that's going to be necessary. There haven't been a lot of 911, EMS, and fire calls. And most businesses here are either closed for the day or they closed early. But again, as you can see with that truck there, if you are out in the road, hopefully not many tonight, we'll still be on the road. Drive safely, be cautious. David, Nicole.
All right, thank you, Eugene. Governor Roy Cooper says the North Carolina National Guard is on standby just in case conditions get worse in the Tar Heel State.
To Chesapeake now, and this photo of Greenbrier Mall sent to us from Vera. You can see the dusting of snow covering the parking lot there. Sarah Hammond spent the day in Chesapeake. She's live there now. So, Sarah, what are you seeing? I can tell it's very, very cold and windy.
Yeah, Nicole, you're right. The snow is really picked up. I'm sure you can hear the wind is really whipping past us out here. We've been at the Chesapeake City Park all afternoon. When we got here today, if you want to take a look at the ground, Kevin behind the camera, there was really nothing on the ground, a little bit stuck to the grass and some of the trees and stuff when we got here. But now we've been out here since about 3:30. Last I measured, it was about 2 inches. I have our 13 storm mode measuring stick out here. Now let's see where we stand. At this point, in the grass here, it says about 3 inches. And again, that's in the grass in this park. That's not out on the streets. However, it is accumulating out there. So like you've heard from VDOT, you heard from other city officials, stay off those roads. It is icy. They do have the plow trucks going and the roads have been pre-treated, but just stay home if you have to because it is really coming down here. For now, live in Chesapeake, Sarah Hammond, 13 News Now.
Sarah, thank you. Chesapeake City leaders say they have lifted tolls on the Dominion Boulevard Veterans Bridge and Chesapeake Expressway because the road conditions are bad. But if you don't have to drive, again, stay home.